Hello everyone, it's the same here. Welcome to the Halloween event guide. We're going to start with the Codex entry that introduces us to the event. It's largely similar to the event as it was last year. So first thing we do, we open the Codex entry and we find the letter. The letter is from an unknown sender, but it turns out it's from a pumpkin ghost Amitoi. So Pumpkin Amitoi invites us to the party to join the festivities, and we need to meet the pumpkin at the plaza at Castleton. So yeah, we're heading there. As you can see, there's a lot of decorations. Many of the residents have holiday outfits and stuff. Very good. They're doing really well with the decorations for these kind of events. So of course I teleported to my house, which is in Castleton, which is the quickest way to get there, and ran straight to the NPC. Got the nice Halloween theme in the background. Look, a big ghost. Lots of pumpkins, lots of candy, and quite a few scary Amitoys. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. So of course they invite us to help them with something. So we need to join the Haunted Harvests, and of course the Amitoi can enter the world at that time and party. Yeah, the living and the dead can gather and enjoy themselves at this festival. The next step, and the pumpkin sends us basically on a mission to receive a buff from neighbors who are in front of any of the abyss dungeons in the game. So we head to the first one I see on the map. Check out what this is all about. And of course this is the final reward, a housing decoration that is looks like a pumpkin. I will probably use it. So you can see the quest icon near the teleport location. So here we are. As you can see, we have the scary neighbor here, and that is we immediately received the buff from them for a full hour, and we got 10-dimensional pumpkins which we can use as currency from the vendor later. So the next step is to find the Haunted Harvest Peddler, which is a traveling vendor. I was a bit confused where that is, but it's the same location as it was last year. And look, I'm transformed into a raid hound with a pumpkin on its head. Very cool. So we're skipping ahead. It's in Vienta village, and it's in one of the squares. So look at this is where the Percy Amitoi is, the fishing one. So look, Haunted Harvest Peddler. It sells fishing bait, which is very appropriate for the location, and especially it sells cooking pumpkins, so we can use it to craft some buffs food. Now the next thing we need to do is fish with this new bait. That is the next step in the codex. So equip it and go. Not the best at fishing, but I almost got this one. Have a look. See, the very last moment it slipped away from me, but we'll see what happens this time. Doing better with this one. not gonna escape fishy. So yeah, there we go. Pumpkin taffy, which is a food, a holiday food that we can use. It's most useful for combat. Alright, so have a look at the gift from the scary neighbor. It's 10% silent bonus, weapon mastery, and some undead damage boost and resistance. So very useful for free. I would recommend stacking as many of these buffs as you can when you're farming, especially in the Abyss dungeons. And now we're going to cook one of these holiday foods. We're going to use the pumpkins we bought from the merchant. Of course, we go straight to the oven. And look, 100% solent bonus and 100% weapon mastery XP bonus and 10% token efficiency. So this is very good. This is an excellent item. And then the rest of the other ones for boss fights and farming. Both can be useful. So yeah, I'm gonna use my 80k Abyss tokens with that buff on. And I got the Black Anvil weapon ready too. Finally. So yeah. And you get one of these candy corn per day, and I recommend saving 2 of them and completing the dungeon once you have 2, because you can open 2 chests at the end of the dungeon. Of course, that's where we're heading next. So this is the food. The next step is basically to complete the dungeon. So I'm queuing in. And there we go, we started the dungeon. It's exactly the same as it was last year, I think. And the main thing you do in this part where you have to gather pumpkins and bring them to the cart is try and protect your allies. Crowd control enemies, take aggro, and just allow them to carry the pumpkins to the wagon so you can move on with the dungeon. It's a relatively quick dungeon to complete too. The rewards are largely cosmetic, and I find it quite fun. It's easier than what I remember it last year. Quite a few ghosts, cauldrons, dangerous pumpkins, and trees with eyes, all kinds of festive things. So the next step is repeat this. Get 3 pumpkins to the cart so we can move on. And first we need to unlock the door as well. Eat everything along the way. And yeah, try and hold aggro here. And that part we finish quite quickly. The event 1 now, so you can see the extra curse being applied, which I like very much. You can see a separate video about that soon. Builds coming together. I'm only missing 1 item really, which is the Nebula necklace, but you know, I got a backup that's just as good. So now we're going with the cart. Look, flying pumpkins all over the place. We got ghosts scaring everyone, and we got these enemies that knock us off the cart, which is unfortunate, but there's ways to overcome this. You can use the grappling hook here and you know, just glide by the big pumpkin and land, and of course we're gonna avenge them for knocking us by knocking them down. So yeah, done. So then we clear everything so the boss can spawn. These mobs died surprisingly quickly. Maybe we have a good group. Yeah, so this is one of the mini bosses. Actually, the only mini boss. It has only 1 mechanic that's worth considering. This one. you should avoid these pumpkins, so because they're gonna imprison you in them. You're gonna lose a bit of time if you're stuck in a pumpkin. So it's best to just lead them to the glowing pillars, and they'll leave you alone. Yeah, so it's done. We got another long resurrection point, and here is where this big pumpkin is guarding the hallway. There's two of them actually. And what you need to do is run through or roll through to the windows where you can hide while the pumpkin's patrolling. And you need to just come out exactly after it's passed by. And there's only one safe location to stand in the open road. That is in between the two pumpkins that patrol. You're gonna see I almost get there. You see, this is where the safety is. And of course, once one person clears this labyrinth or these obstacles, you get the resurrection location, so you can skip this. And of course, we both died here, and now we're resurrected past that obstacle. And this is the final boss, Embergurd, Lord Embergurd. Very big fan of Halloween he is. Very festive, and there's quite a few fun mechanics with this boss. The main thing is though, if you die you can glide in again. It's not going to restrict you from joining the fight over and over if you end up dying. It's not like normal dungeon bosses. I just block with Q. Avoid, don't stand in the fire. He pulls us to him and does a AoE explosion, and then another one. So once he has this pumpkin shield, what we're supposed to do is knock these lanterns towards him so they can stun him and destroy the shield. But we have someone who's not doing that, and we could not use that to an advantage, so we got stunned instead, and he's gonna have his shield for longer. But we still clear it relatively quickly. And there's two more interesting mechanics that you're gonna see this is one of them. So these pumpkins, you have to try and avoid the glowing ones. But they don't do much damage, so I'm not too bothered. Of course, there's a final mechanic that we need to look out for, and that is, you're going to see it in a moment. As you can see, the health of anyone in the party is pretty much full all the time. This is the mechanic. She turns us into bugs, and we're supposed to quickly get to the boss, but he just glues us to the ground with the spider web. And I think last year we had buttons to press when we were flies, and I think this year we're bugged. I think there's no way to avoid being stuck to the ground until they patch it. But it doesn't do that much damage. We survive it, and we attack the boss again. The idea is to avoid the bats and to run to the boss as quickly as possible. And I think you can duck. There used to be a button where you could duck when he's throwing out the waves of magic. And now we have the rewards. What did I get? 15-dimensional pumpkins, cooking pumpkin, and a shard of gravestone skin, which is very good. I think we need probably around 10 of these to get the gravestone skin, the Halloween themed one. So now we're gonna have a look at the next step in the codex, and that is to check out the vendor, I think. So let's have a look. Yeah, the vendor is in every village, and you can see his usual event vendor right there. And have a look. It has quite a few cosmetics. It has several items for your house, including a spider and a mirror, and a trophy. And it has some upgrade mats for heroics and stuff. So you explore that shop, buy all you can, and then the final location to visit is the updated Oremong, Explorer Oremong, and that is the way to find out where he is just ask in world chat, and someone will send you a ping. They did for me, and now we're going to the location of the pin, and as you can see, he's hiding right next to the ship, and his skin's changed. It's Halloween themed. As you can see, the kind of an orange with a smile you would see on a pumpkin. I immediately save the location, and let's have a look what he's selling. He's selling a hat, an Amito I already have, and some transmorphs, cosmetic ones, and a chest that has a random chance to give us all kinds of stuff, including past event rewards that we didn't earn. And it does look like the chance to get the good stuff. The best one will be the gold bar, which is 100 million. We don't have a high chance of getting these, so we're gonna see. I'm gonna open mine now, or in a bit. So now we're done with the actual codex, and we can get the reward, which is a plush animal that is a housing decoration that we can put in our house, and I'll do that, and 10 of the currency. I'm gonna have a look at the hat. Let's have a look. Because I'm shopping around for a new hat. Yeah, it's decent, it's well made. I like it. Maybe if I make it green, who knows. So let's have a look at the cosmetics. This is a funny knight army toy looking thing. And then we have the pumpkin transmorph. And we have the Oremong chest. And let's have a look. The frog fishing rod looks very cool. That's one of the best things to get. And a whole bunch of food that I'm not too bothered about. I've got a lot of fireworks of various types. And some portrait icons and stuff that you're going to see in a moment. Yeah, see, we got several portrait icons that I didn't earn in the past. The gold bar, several titles that I've missed out, so you might see more rewards depending on what you've unlocked before. And of course the rainbow transformation, which I didn't unlock. But let's open it and see what we get. Of course I got 10 fireworks. Those are the smile fireworks. Let's test out what they do. So that's gonna be how we end the video actually. Oh wait, we have a giant golden chest that appeared. And it's hitting us. Yeah, that's done with. So people are using their fireworks, which is cool. So let's use ours. I'm first gonna open a few boxes here. See what we get. Didn't get much. Alright. So keep on top of this event, get all your rewards. Buy the cool stuff from the shop. Of course, I'll see you around. If you enjoyed the video, leave me a comment, like, share and subscribe. Have a good day.